Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode here on the YouTube channel. In today's video, we have a monstrous FA Cup tie against Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it is a game that will see us, if we win, make it to Wembley for the first time in the save. If you are enjoying the content, give it a like, do subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are trying to get to 450 subs, and we're nearly there. We're only 20 away, and I've never been as high as subs as this, so I'm very grateful, and I'm always going to say thank you. So please hit that big red button down below and leave a comment to let me know how your save is going, or let me know what you've got planned for Christmas. With that being said, I've got a little bit of a Christmas present on my screen right now, and that's Destiny, your doggy. As you can see, we have got a late bloomer here with the Italian. He has been developing out of his skin this year at 26 years of age, and something that I wanted to highlight, it's one of the new features this year on FM24, is the late bloomers. So guys that have potential but actually don't start hitting it until they start turning 26, 27, 28. And as you can see, he kind of fits the category. Bought him on the cheap from Spurs, didn't really develop at Spurs. We've come in and played him week in, week out in the Prem, and well, this guy is just absolutely amazing. He's a beast. The physicals are now getting up, the mentals are so well rounded, the technicals are getting up, and who knows where a late bloomer stops. He's also averaging over a 7 this year in the league and has got 8 goal contributions with a couple men of the matches. He's now become our best key player. So very, very important to have a look at players like that. In terms of since we last met, the form's been a little bit to say the least. Everton, we drew 3-3 in a game that, look, away from home, it's not Goodison Park. They're playing at some Merseyside Dock stadium that they've built now, where it's a monstrous stadium bigger than Anfield, which is funny. As you can see from the game here, Everton were probably good value for at least a point. Good amount of shots on target, good amount of possession. Didn't think we played great, but, Herman and McAtee were on fire together, which is good to know. And then we unfortunately lost one at the racecourse in the 95th minute to Newcastle in a game where it has to be said, I think Newcastle were the better side here. We really didn't work up. We looked a little bit tired, a little bit jaded. And that's going to bring me on to my next point here before we get into this game. As you can see from the team here, it's a good team. Like, don't get me wrong, McAtee's fine, Pavlovic is fine, Herman's fine. Obviously, Mariba and Koulibaly are great, your Doggy's great, your Riga's great, Arthur's good in goal. When you're looking at the backup team, it's a young backup team that's not really developed. A lot of guys are good, like Sky Bet League 1 sort of level, that sort of thing, which, look, in years to come, that is going to be okay, because if they all could develop and hit their potential, and I'm finding this year's game, it's a bit hard to judge how potential kind of goes, because I've seen guys develop like the Hermans, and I've seen guys develop like, let's go with the Koulibalys of the world, even though he's now getting some downward arrows to, bit of regression. Guys like, let's go with Arthur, hasn't really developed much since he's joined. Cunnington, big one. Cunnington's had so many 14s and just stay at 14 at 21 years of age when playing him in Premier League football. Stuff like this. So, yeah, I haven't seen enough development from all these youngsters that we have got in. So I'm thinking next year, and I'm already scouting for it, is if you look at the recruitment focuses and completed, is starting to find good talent that's a little bit older, a little bit more developed. Unfortunately for us, Makoku I put a bid in for, and then Stuttgart put a bid in for, and he wanted to join Stuttgart. He wanted 130k a week and to be an important player. I managed to talk him down to be a regular starter, which means I could have swapped him in and out with Herman, and he would have been perfect off the bench or on the right-hand side. Unfortunately, not the case. Savio is here as well, and I'm almost at the point where I might look to pick Savio up just because of how well-rounded and, he can play either side, and he's a very good footballer on a free at 24 years of age as well. I think that'll just be an incredible pickup. I think he would want to start most games in the Prem. But looking that we start either Arthur or Christian Pavon on the right, Pavlovic on the left, who, to be fair, Pavlovic has got no issues, but, the game reckons he's not going to develop anymore, and he hasn't really developed too much this year. I'm tempted to start looking at maybe bringing someone else in. He's wanted by Wolves, but I'm not going to plan to sell. I'm starting to think that if these guys aren't really going to develop, maybe we start going down this route of, now that we're a little bit more reputable, now that we're going to make Europe no matter what really happens this year, unless we don't win a game for the rest of the season, we stay on like 55 to 60 points, which I highly doubt. I don't see the world where United and Spurs and West Ham are all going to catch me. So we should be making it to at least the Conference League at a minimum. And that should in turn get our reputation up enough to get the guys like a Savio, to get the guys of someone, of other players as well, that maybe we can pick up on the free that are interested in coming. So I have got some recruitment focus that I have looked at, looking to pick up some players there. But let's get into the Spurs game here. It's a big game for us as well. And let's go in and pick the best 11. Robertson's been suspended the last couple of games, so now he comes back in as well. He's been developing a lot. And as much as I do love Arthur, we have been playing Dominguez as the cup goalkeeper, which has been great. As you can see, he is delighted with the time that he's been getting. Arthur has now been switched to a first choice keeper, which makes him a bit happy now, more happy when I rotate him out. I will say if we make the semi-final in Wembley, I'm not going to play Dominguez. I will be playing Arthur, and that's just because he's a club legend. When you have a look at how many games Arthur's played, he's played 214 games for the club if we take away my webcam. If I make it to Wembley for the first time, I'm going to play the guy that's been here for 214 games to say, congratulations, you've been part of this journey. With the team, it is pretty full strength. Oliveira has been playing of late as well and been developing probably the best out the centre-backs, but Waylon Reneke is going to come out here because it is a big game. So Dominguez, Robertson, Origo, Reneke, and Udogie, Mariba and Koulibaly with Arthur, McAtee, Pavlovic, and Herman. It is going to become Christian Pavon because it's a bit of a bigger game, and I prefer that a little bit more experience here as well. Very tempted that if we make Europe next year to either to keep Christian Pavon around as well and start loaning out the likes of the Arthurs and and co around. And the reason for doing that is just to get them to develop. Maybe Arthur needs a loan spell, at a German club in the Bundesliga or a Spanish club, in the lower levels of the Spanish First Division, like an Atletico Pamplona or a Real Betis or something like that, and just go out there and help them have a very good year where they overachieve week in, week out, even though he's been playing a lot of minutes. I just haven't been able to get the development. Anyway, long throw, even though we don't have a long throw specialist apart from Robertson, I really need to change this. Like, the game keeps making Cunnington or Origo take long throws, and they both can't throw, where Robertson has 13 long throws, our right back, and he can throw. But yeah, Pedro Porro on the ball finds Alfie Dorrington, who does grow on FM, so I'm not surprised to not see him here. Vicario as well. And Dorrington into Rodrigo Bentoncourt and Porro. So it's a very similar Spurs size to what you normally would see in 5-6 years here. Dejan Kulusevski as well. I need to check out the Spurs 11. Pedro Porro. Van Duven, don't know who that is. Kulusevski, it's a great move here. Kulusevski, 1-0 down. Jason Van Duven. Let's go have a look at him quickly. So, Porro, Donton, Luka Vuskic, they signed as a 16-year-old in real life. So, they're at Holderberg's playing left back. So, we need to get at that. Bentoncourt, James Maddison as an older age still looks very good. Dejan Rafinha, we already know Rafinha's here. And Jason Van Duven looks outrageous as a 24-year-old Dutch striker. Romero's still on the bench as well. They've actually got Naipan, who grows usually into a very good player. Richarlison's still here as well. Emerson Royale's still here. Cool side from Spurs. It's nice to see him keep that sort of core that Ange has at his disposal in real life. Anyway, we're 1-0 down here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium inside 6 minutes. Hopefully this one just turns into a goal fest and we go big. But conceding early, not something that we really want to do. Anyway, Pavlovic is going to get on that, but that's a tackle and that's going to be tackled away. So that is all okay. Look, if we do drop out of the FA Cup here, we can have a good run. We got within a game of Wembley. That's not bad. But, that would be all the more. I'm okay with dropping out in the FA Cup now if we go on a run in the league and finish top 4. If I drop out of the FA Cup now and I finish 7th, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. Anyway, Christian Pavon, great ball to Pavlovic. He can square it, does, but Vicario read it and came and claimed. I like that little set piece, though. The dinked to the front stick for them that can cut it across is very good. Look to squeeze here, but Spurs will look to play out possession-based system versus our press. And Alfie Dorrington on the ball. Can we win it here high? Kulusevski, Porro. Spurs knocking it around well again. Rodrigo Bentoncourt into Alfie Dorrington. Pedro Porro, Kulusevski. They've done well and they're out. Van Duven beating men at will. Waylon Reneke, though, wins. McAtee gets crunched by Bentoncourt. Maddison beats one very far out and puts it just over the bar. 25 minutes in, it's been all Spurs. We are being dominated. Pavlovic hits one. Vicario makes an easy save. Can we score from the resulting corner? Destiny Udogi's a big boy in the air. Christian Pavon knows how to whip in a ball. Waylon Reneke's out there. Pavon looks for Mariba, didn't find him. Waylon Reneke will recycle. Top of the box, finds Pavlovic. Hits one. Vicario in the right position to claim. We've been plucky, but we haven't been great. And so far, it is 1-0 down. 30 minutes played, we're struggling for possession. If we can get into the halftime at 1-0 down, I can roll the boys up. Maybe we might get back into this game. 40 minutes played. Time is ticking. Is there one last highlight here, Football Manager? The answer to that question is no. Thrash the arms. No, point the finger. We need more possession in the second half. We're going to come back. And let's continue on. So far, not much. Been a little bit better. Free kick though, and James Maddison's really good over a dead ball. This is dangerous. This goes in, we're in big amounts of trouble. Hit the bar. Thank you. Sometimes you got to call it. Sometimes you got to call it. We've been okay, but nothing much happening out here. 65 minutes played. I am going to make some changes now. Josh is going to move to an inside forward on one side. And we're going to get Pavlovic off here for Kristovic, who has been scoring. Arthur's going to come on for Pavon, because he's not really done much. I think that's fine as well. McAtee's had an okay game. Don't want to really bring one of the youngsters in to try and change the game here as well. Apparently, Waylon Reneke is injured, so I'm going to bring Carlos on. Done. 66 minutes played. Let's go. Is there a moment here? Arthur. Whips one. Mariba. Doesn't win. Only as far as McAtee. Josh Herman playing wide, which I don't mind doing. Great ball to Arthur. Can he score? Can he get a cross away? Apparently we're going to get a penalty. I don't think that's going to be given a pen. Can we get lucky with the VAR? Out of everything there that could have happened, this was the worst case scenario because this is not going to get given now. Yeah, no penalty. It's not out A. Another set piece here for Rafinha. Is he going to shoot? Is he going to cross? He's going to shoot. Wow. And Talos Mango misses the open goal. Rafinha's free kick was a weldy. He came out to Mango and he's missed the chance to put Spurs into the semi-final of the FA Cup. I think we're going to have to go to a more aggressive system here. And we're going to step up a little bit more. I'm going to go long over the top. We're not going to play out. I'm going to make a change. All right. Robertson's going to go complete wing back on attack. Same with Destiny Udogi. And we're going to get Koulibaly off because he's on a booking. Mariba's going to sit in and just distribute. Kristovic is going to go one side. Herman's going to go other. I'm going to actually switch him around and go Kristovic as a complete forward on attack. And this is going to be Mr. Ceravolo out on this side. And go to a 4-1-3-2. With not long to go. Is there a moment here? 6 minutes at a time. We need a highlight. Come on, Football Manager. A very, very, very disappointing one. A very disappointing one. In the end, Spurs were the better side. They had 60% possession. We only allowed them 2 shots on target, but that was enough. And we really never got out of first gear. As you can tell, it's just kind of been the performances we've been having. A bit jaded, a bit tired, this squad's played a lot of games sort of thing. And I do worry in the Europe next year that the squad will do the same thing. But, you know, it's good progress. You know, we failed to make it past the 5th round in every other season. The season where we're having our best year in the league, we make it to the quarterfinal, which isn't bad. But, look, we didn't get pumped. We played well-ish. I can take the positives out of it. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. In terms of next episode, I do have a game against Arsenal Man City coming up as well, but I'm not going to target that. I'm thinking what I'm going to target is the Man United Spurs game, because these 2 games will highlight where I am in the league. and then the need, if we need to play Brentford on the final day or just at the end of that episode, give you what the result is and tell you the season is over and that's where we finished. That allows him to play Arsenal and Man City, two games that on paper we're not favourites for, but we generally do well against both clubs, which is great. Fulham and Sunderland are must win. Liverpool obviously is difficult. Spurs, you just saw what happened, but at least that's at the racecourse, and at the racecourse I beat both sides, and if that was a Spurs game at the racecourse, I think we're through to an FA Cup semi-final. And then obviously United at Old Trafford's probably a loss. Brentford at home on the final day should be a game we win, as well, considering that Brentford are pretty safe in 13th and not going to have anything to play for. With that being said, that's the end of another episode. Give it a like, do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys next time for a double header that will decide if we're going to be in the Champions League, the Europa League, the Europa Conference League, or maybe we've gone on a massive losing streak and maybe find ourselves choking European football.